Hello! In this Excel video tutorial, we're going to look at how to make histograms and do basic descriptive statistics. So to start off, we're in the M190 Excel files workbook, and I'm on the histogram sheet. I've got some steps laid out here. You'll see a histogram. I'm going to go ahead and delete this histogram. I don't want that there, and I'm going to get rid of this, and we'll just start from scratch. So we'll need to use the data analysis tool pack. There is no conventional way to do it in Excel otherwise. You could manipulate a bar graph into one, but the proper way to do it is with the tool pack. So I'm going in, selecting histogram. I'm going to click OK. Now, if you don't give it the bins, that is the bars that you want, it'll do its own by default. They're generally ugly, but it will work. So I'm going to go grab the data. You can type it in by hand if you want to. I'm starting with A1. Notice that I grabbed the word height, and the values that I have are 68 there. I don't have any bins set up. I did grab the label, so you need to have labels checked. If you don't grab the label, don't check it, otherwise it'll mess you up. Bin range. Okay, it didn't have that. Output range. You can do a new workbook, that's fine. I like to give it an output range so that it puts it right on my existing sheet, but it's up to you. Be sure to click into the cell that you want first. Then I'm going to go here, F19. Let's just run that. That'll be the upper left-hand corner of the output. And as I look at that, I go, wow, there's no graph. But it did give me some counts, which is handy. And the reason that it did that is because I didn't have chart output selected. So I'm going to select chart output, and we're just going to redo that. It says, shall I overwrite? Yes, please, overwrite, right on top of where you did before. And I get this little ugly histogram that pops out. Excel does not properly display histograms by default. This is irrelevant. And there's gaps here. A proper histogram doesn't have gaps, because that would mean there's nothing between this 59.5 and 62.25, which is wrong. So I'm going to right click on the bar, and I get let's see, format data series, and there's this thing called gap width. So that's under series options. I'm going to drag that down to 0, no gap whatsoever, and close it. Boom. That is a proper histogram. Now you could put a teeny gap if you want your eye to see that better, or put lines there or something, and you can play with this, all kinds of options, but that's the raw histogram. Now, what if you want to give it your own bins? Well, all you need to do is come up with your numbers. You need to have the upper bound of your first bin all the way through the upper bound of your last bin. And if you don't catch it, Excel will do a catch-all and just call it more, which, that could be improved. So we could put up there 76.25. And fortunately, Excel fixed that for me. That makes it look a lot more consistent. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, and we'll run through that exercise one more time. Same data I'm going to use, but we're going to give it some bins now, and we'll use the 6 bin option here. The reason that I grabbed 6 bins is because I've selected labels, so it's going to use that fact. And so it says overwrite. Sure, that's fine. It stuck it right there. And when we come down, we notice that it used the other bins that I had constructed. And it labeled that 6 bins. You could change that right now. But that's the basic for getting the histogram up. Okay, so let's take a look at how to do a bar graph. So for a bar graph, we're typically talking categorical data. I'm going to do the UCR Student Data tab with the majors. All right, I'm going to go to the bottom here. With a bar graph, you have to have a table with things already tabulated. And Excel will do that for us too, actually quite handily. And there's a really powerful function in Excel. This is one of the golden gems, I think, of Excel, is its pivot table functionality. So I'm going to go B1 through B70. Notice it's right there, the last entry, B70. And I'm going to put it in the existing worksheet right there in that spot. So I'm going to click OK. Now, there's a lot that this thing will do. It will do multiple columns, and you can mix and mash around and get it to do various things. For my purposes, I'm going to do majors there, and I want majors to be summed. That's what this Greek symbol is, sum. And you'll notice that that's what it's done for me. So that's what I wanted right there. So I'm going to click out of that, and then I'm going to go make a bar graph. So I've got 37 with the C. Those were, I think, chemistry majors. I got 1 chemical engineering major, 7 engineers, 12 math majors, and so on. So now let's go for that bar graph. We're going to go, let's see, no, I had to hit escape, and then I had access here. This should be a bar graph. This is a rotated bar graph, so I don't know why they call that column, but that's the one you want. Never do 3-dimensional. That is just, it's a waste of space, and it's less easy, it's less clear. So we're going to do a bar graph, and Excel has a lot of toots and whistles and features. I forgot. There was nothing selected. You have to select your stuff first before you make the graph. So I want the labels with the totals. And so back here, we'll go in, and there it popped them out. Okay. This is not helpful unless I have another variable. So we can tweak it around. You can add axes and stuff, but that's how you get your basic bar graph. Okay, I want to switch over and do some descriptive statistics. As far as box plots go, Excel doesn't do box plots, so it's not an option for us. But on the descriptive statistics, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Data Analysis Tool Pack, Descriptive Statistics. So I've got a bunch of stuff set up here. We're going to go ahead and grab the data. It's the same UCR height data, which I won't discuss it at the moment. Group by, it's in columns. I did grab the label, and I want to do the output range. So let's click down here. We'll leave that as it is. And then I need it to tell it what I want. I'm going to do the summary statistics. So let's go ahead and click that. And what it gives us is mean, standard error, median, mode, standard deviation, whole bunch of descriptive statistics. Very helpful to just pop that out in one shot. These are raw numbers, they're not functions now, so you can grab them, access them however you want. These are also not functions. If you don't have the tool pack, maybe you're on a Mac, or for whatever reason, you might just want the individual numbers. Here are the Excel functions: average, median, standard deviation. Okay, notice STDEV. Okay. There's a updated function, STDEV. Yeah, that's a deprecated function. So if we do S, then we can do A2 through A, I think it was 68. That's going to give us the same thing. So that old function without the S, now we need to use the S on the newer versions. Okay, and I've got some other functions here that you can look at and see. So that covers it for the histogram. We did the descriptive statistics.